Namaste. We are learning economics and the chapter is first, namely development. Today we learn about the topic Human Development Index. As we know that World Bank has decided to compare countries on the basis of its per capita income. But later it was found that this one is not very sufficient and appropriate and justified reason to classify the country only on the per capita income, because it has some limitation, it has some demerits also. So according to the United Nations Development Program, it survey all the country and decides not only on the basis of the national income or per capita income, but it takes some few more attributes to decide whether a country is developed and not. And on the basis of that comparison, it publishes a report which is known as Human Development Index or Human Development Report. So let us now understand what these are. So Human Development Report, it is published by United Nations Development Program and compare countries based on the first educational level of the people. The second one is the health status and the per capita income. It means the United Nations organization, United Nations Development Program, it is not only taking only income as for the comparing of the countries, but it includes in its comparison basis two more things, and that the first one is educational level and the second one is health status. So as it is demand of the world that only income is not the very sufficient reason to compare all the countries on that basis, so it has been decided by United Nations Development Program that will take two more attributes to decide. The first one is educational level of the people and the second one is health status. And for the educational level, the thing which is taken up is literacy rate for 15 years plus population. As far as this educational level of the country is concerned, so for that purpose, literacy rate of 15 plus years population is taken into consideration. It means that those people who are more than 15 years age, and among them, what is the literacy rate? Literacy means those who can read and write and understand the things in his own language. So they were regarded as literate. So this literacy rate is now considered to be one of the parameters to decide and compare countries. And you should understand what is literacy rate for 15 years plus population. It means that those people of any country who are above 15 years old, and to what extent their literacy is in percent, and that is called literacy rate for 15 years population. And the second thing that has been decided, that has been included in the comparing countries attributes is health status, and that particular health status is determined by life expectancy at birth. What is this life expectancy at birth? It is average expected length of life of a person at the time of birth. Suppose any child is taking their birth, at that moment, what is his expected length of life is regarded as, it is called the life expectancy at birth. It means whenever he is taking his birth, at that particular time, what is the existing infrastructure of the health of the country that will decide its expected length of life. So these two things have been included by the United Nations to decide the countries, and on the basis of these three things, income, health and educational level, the United Nations Development Program publishes a Human Development Report. And in this Human Development Report, all I think 177 approximately countries are given some value or some number according to their status of income, per capita income, their health status, which is represented by the life expectancy at birth, and their educational level, which is reflected and which is indicated by its literacy rate for 15 plus years population. So on these three bases, United Nations declare a list of Human Development Index, of the all 177 countries, and in that list countries are categorized or ranked with their performance in these three factors. Oh, now we will compare our India with some its neighboring countries. So per capita gross national income of India is 3,285 US dollar. Actually, in the comparison per capita gross national income, we have learnt about the per capita income. So it is determined by the United Nations in the dollar, because dollar is very common currency which can be used to compare different countries' income level. And in this calculation, dollar is in such a way given value that each dollar can buy equal amount of goods and services in all the countries, which is ranked in this list. So per capita gross national income of India is 3,285 US dollar, but for the Sri Lanka this data is 5,170, and this one has been taken in US dollars. So you may think that what is our status or condition, and what a very small country in our neighbor has its own status. We are far behind from Sri Lanka. Now about literacy rate for 15 plus years population, our India has only 62.8% literacy 15 years plus population, but Sri Lanka has 91.2% literacy rate. So you may think to what extent do we have to traverse our journey to be said as a good nation, to have a good rank in Human Development Index. And in present, in Human Development Index, India's rank is 136 out of 177 countries, but our neighboring country Sri Lanka has 92th position, 92nd position out of 177%. So all these data might make you activate that to what extent we have to do for our nation, because economics is such a subject that will activate you, motivate you, not only for yourself, for your family, it also activates you to do some more for your society, for your nation, because all these data might or may or definitely activate you. It what potential you have to do your work. Nowadays you are getting daily by daily some qualities inside you. If you are not getting this quality day by day, if you are not adding qualities upon you day by day, then what will happen? You will not able to do anything with this data. You have potential to change this data. India may be more than may have more upper position in this list with your own effort. Suppose after completion of your education, you are doing such a thing that can change the economy of the India. You people have immense potential to do that. So we have seen that in Human Development Index means it is a list of the countries in which ranking is done on the basis of their per capita gross national income, literacy rate for 15 plus years population, and life expectancy at birth. On these three parameters, Human Development Index is prepared, and in that index, our India has 136th rank and Sri Lanka has 92th rank. But one thing remember that this data is of 2012. So we have seen that not only income is most important for individual, but and for also nation, but many more things are equally important for individual and for nation. Before deciding whether a person is developed, whether a nation is developed, we have not to take into consideration only the money. We have to take consideration of these things also. The list of the taking into consideration, the list may be more. We may take some more things also to decide whether a country is developed or not. But at present, World Bank is taking only income and is publishing a World Development Report. But Human Development Index is being produced by UNDP, and in this UNDP, three parameters have been chosen to decide the country's development status. The next thing that we all know कि suppose a person, how will you decide that a person, especially ये adult is undernourished, overnourished or properly nourished? For that, nutritional scientist has suggests a method which is known as body mass index. It is nothing but to assess whether an adult person is overnourished or undernourished or properly nourished. And the process is very simple. Body mass index is equal to, we have to take the weight of the person in kilogram and height of the person in meter, and the formula for calculation of the body mass index is weight in kilogram divided by height in meter and square of the height of the meter. If this calculation's value is less than 18.5, then we call that particular person is undernourished. And if it is greater than 25, then that particular person will be regarded as overnourished. This means he is taking too much and doing less. So the extra fat he is taking or extra calorie he is taking is depositing on him in the form of fat. But if the range, if the data is coming between 18.5 to 25, then that particular person will be regarded as normally nourished. And one remarkable thing, that children are not assessed by body mass index because their height is growing, their height is changing. So we will not decide their nourishment status by the body mass index. Thank you.